One-click parallax effect. After the installation highway Parallaxer template, you could use it inside Final Cut Pro. Create a new project. Open the Titles and Generators sidebar. Expand the titles list and find Highway Parallaxer. You can use any template from points, frames, particles, and 3D photo categories as a one-click template. In my case, I used rectangle from the frames category. Just drag and drop it into the timeline above the photo or video you have on it. And that's it. It works. I make only length corrections to the photo on my timeline. Or you can change the length of the title preset itself. All templates in Parallaxer works as titles generator and must be placed above the content you want to animate. Presets. In this section, I'll pay attention to presets categories, which you can use in one click. In the points category, the parallax effect looks like the camera travels from the first point to the second one. Here are collected zoom out and zoom in templates. In the frames category, you can find different types of frame borders. Heart, rectangle, circle, triangle, etc. Some of them have rotating animations. Some of them are looped, some not. In my case, I use a heart loop frame with a DOF effect. In the particles category, you can find dust and scratches, rain or snow particles, which could complete the sense of your content. I'm using a snow preset right now. In the text category, you can focus your attention on words inside your animation. In the 3D photo category, you can find templates for 3D photo conversion. This type of template blurs the borders of layers and creates an illusion of a 3D photo from a flat 2D capture. Customization. To fully create a parallax effect from scratch, you may use the first two main templates. Let's start with Parallaxer. Path. This template creates looped animation with basic text. First you could do is changing text inside the text inspector like that. 3D text supported. You can change any parameter, but you can't animate it. To turn off the text, I go to the Inspector tab. I scroll down and uncheck the box Text. Let's go up. Here are the camera settings. You can change the type of path the camera moves on. It can be a rectangle, a circle, a line, etc. The camera can be directed either to the last layer. It can be on the middle layer or the front one. Since this animation is looped, you can copy this layer and paste it next to it. The pasting will be inconspicuous. You can also use on-screen controls to change the positions and scale of the path the camera moves on. Moves left, right, up, and down. Use the small circle to change positions and the large to change the path scale. You can also change the value of rotation so that the path changes its angle. In this example, the camera originally moved in a straight line, and after a 45-degree turn, it started moving from the lower left corner to the upper right corner and back again. Use the offset parameter to move the starting frame to a different position. That way, the animation won't start from the first frame, but will move to the selected one. Use this parameter as a percentage. To get the depth of field effect, you can play with the DOF setting. The focus of the camera will be on the background or text. If the text is off, the camera will focus on where it should be. The next category of settings is the mask setting. You can select the number of layers from 1 to 4. Select the type of mask. For example, rectangle, rhombus, heart, and circle. Hexagon, pentagon. You can also create your mask. To do this, you need to open the sidebar. Find solids in the generators category and select any color. Drag and drop it on the timeline. Go to the Effects tab and select the Draw Mask effect. Pick some points with this effect and create a new compound clip. After that, you need to find your compound clip in a file manager. Select Preset and drag and drop it to the drop zone. As you can see, your mask was applied. Use the roundness parameter to make corners more smooth. You can change the edges and shadows parameters. By turning off these parameters and turning on the frame blur parameter to a large value, you will get an option to animate presets like 3D photo. You can change the position of the frame and scale. You can also change rotation and change the spin parameter, which will be applied dynamically. Scale iteration parameter used for the difference between each layer mask scale. 0%. Same scale for every mask. 100%. Maximum available scale decrease from layer to layer. Depth is for how close layers will be to each other. Particles parameters. You can select the particle type. This may give us snow 1, snow 2, dust and scratch or rain. To increase or decrease the number of particles, adjust the amount parameter. Speed of particles if available. Use opacity to adjust how transparent each particle would be. Let's go into a parallaxer, points template. The main difference is the way the camera is used. In this preset, camera moves from the first point to the second point. You can intuitively adjust the camera using on-screen controls. Notice the circles in the center of the frame. Move with the left center circle to adjust the first point. Move the right center circle to adjust the second point. Changing the diameter of the circle affects the zoom. Pay attention to the controls at the top of the screen. The left control is responsible for the camera rotation at the first point. The right control is in charge of the second point camera rotation. You can also adjust these settings manually in the inspector. You can also adjust movement type settings. By default, it's set to ease both for soft camera movement. But here, for example, you can see what it would look like if you choose decelerate to have the camera gently slow down towards the end of the animation. All other settings in this subject are the same as in the previous one, and we're not going to look at them. Thank you for your attention.